I'm just thinking about the Zach Glazier versus AJ Ferrari NCAA final. Actually, the Zach Glazier versus Stephen Buchanan semi, and then the AJ versus Glazier NCAA final. I know it's a little. I'm taking some liberties here, but you know,
Hey,
I want to see those matches.
plus maybe I wish no injury upon any person, but little Ferrari Angelo bulks up to 197. He has to get thrown in the lineup.
Oh yeah,
Ferrari on Ferrari NCAA final.
that'd be incredible. Man, can you imagine? And
AJ said that in that phone call with, or maybe it wasn't on FRL, but AJ said that Angelo can score on him in practice. I think he said it on a phone call with someone.
okay, maybe with D-Bray.
Yeah.
Well, we haven't actually even said.
Yeah,
but
we should talk about this.
Yeah, let's
AJ Ferrari committed to Cal State Bakersfield last Friday.
Yeah,
Friday.
He news dumped us.
Kozak, you pulled up this graphic. When we're done soaking up this one, will you pull up the video that Bakersfield made for him, where he says give him the double birds and he
I have not seen this.
throws up the double three and does the splits? Have you
Oh,
you guys
wow.
haven't seen that?
Is that
like the Roadrunner?
Yeah, they did like a video edit, and it starts off. I don't think we'll be able to get audio on here, but it starts off with him saying, "Give him the double birds," and then he drops into the splits. You're on the Cal State Bakersfield. It's on AJ's page.
Okay.
Yeah, they made it.
at Mr. Fast Twitch?
Scroll that video. See, the thumbnail is him doing it.
Oh gosh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pull this up. Pull this bad boy up.
Okay. He
We'll
says
get
give
this
him
on
the double
screen.
birds.
Boom. Splits
wow.
does the two. I don't know what the three means.
I think he went lower at the salute.
Is that a?
Is he losing some flexibility?
Well, he had adrenaline going.
Yeah.
Salute.
Honestly, yeah. That can make you do some flexible things.
That was it. I just wanted you guys to see him.
Well, if it makes sense, because Roadrunners are the most fast twitch bird that I'm aware of.
Whoa. It's a really good point.
Yeah, a lot of people aren't thinking about the synergy there.
Were you surprised by this move?
It depends. Like, if you had asked me in January of this year, I'd be like, wow, that is really something. But based on it just didn't seem like he was getting a lot of opportunity at the more traditional programs. Bakersfield's had a very solid program over the course of their existence, but certainly this guy started at Oklahoma State. He was going to Iowa. I mean, Dan Dennis and Alex Marinelli were in his corner. It was happening, right? It's not speculative that he was going to go to Iowa for that second semester. And then the double salute
He
happened.
posted the picture of Ben Keeter, said name a better 1-2 punch.
Exactly. And then, so he leaves there, and then it was pretty obvious throughout his recruiting process, like, okay, it's going to be a different type of team he's going to wind up, because he visited Northern Colorado, Ryder, and Cal State Bakersfield. So at that point, I guess there's no world where you're surprised by AJ Ferrari. So no, I was not terribly surprised by this. I think for Bakersfield, you can look at it. You just have to run your own risk assessment, right? Like, okay, this can go different direction. It could go very positively, where, he's a great wrestler and he's a model student athlete, and then it's all good for you. And it could obviously go badly, and you just have to have, you have to have contingency plans around, things going poorly with AJ, which is a reality, and for if I'm the coach there, it's all on AJ's contrition level, right? Like, how much does he kind of own his past and what has happened and what happened there? Because in the weeks following the soldier salute, it did not feel like it had fully resonated what had happened and maybe his role within that. It's just some more blaming than kind of accepting. But if he's kind of come to terms with that, I mean, I think we see it in sports all the time. Wrestlers and other athletes, you get second, third chances based on your talent. He's obviously a talent. And so I'm not against him getting another opportunity. I think I'd be a hypocrite if I thought, that I deserve forgiveness about anything, and then he can't wrestle on a third wrestling team. So I hope it goes well for him. I hope he has success. I hope Bakersfield has success, and he can, it'd be a great story for wrestling if AJ Ferrari was just talked about as a wrestler, because we know that's a fun topic always.
If you're a coach at Bakersfield or somewhere else, is the risk worth the reward for you? Would you have taken the risk?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not in that position, obviously. I don't know. To me, as it time passed and like we weren't hearing, I began to wonder if he was going to get an opportunity, because really, when you think about AJ, his best contribution in my mind was like to a contending team that could add his, potential 20 points. That could put you over. That could put you in a trophy position or in a contention to do, contend with the best, right? But for a lesser team, is it more risk? Because what does one national champion mean for your program if you have these other ancillary factors contribute? So I was like, well, maybe it won't happen. But I think if you think it can help your team enough, then it's a chance you take.
Sway's pointed this out in the chat that Bakersfield has they were 0-12 last year, 1-11 the year before that. They've lost 20 in a row duels.
Dang.
It was like,
Wow.
I mean, like, it's not really saying it, but like, what do they got to lose, right?
Yeah.
In some case.
That's fair too.
And I think for AJ's standpoint, I think this is his time with NIL to really capitalize on his talent in wrestling. And so if he can turn the ship around, then I think what we're talking about next year is where does he go after this? And does a big program take a chance on him? Do they pay him big NIL money? To me, it reminds me of when in MLB or NFL, when somebody's in their contract year, it's that's the time they perform their best.
Yeah,
because they want what's coming after that. So that's what kind of my opinion.
See, I'm with that totally. And then I always circle back to this guy was about to be the starting 97-pounder for the Iowa Hawkeyes, and he blew it. You never have. I mean, that is the ultimate. That is the opportunity of opportunities. You were going to be teammates with your brother. You things did not work out at Oklahoma State. You could say mutual parting of ways, but he had a role in that. And so for him not to be like, man, I lost out at Oklahoma State. All right, I got to lock in here. That's the one thing that just plants a small seed of doubt in my own mind. Like, man, you had so much reason. But to your point, and JD made this point, I think last week when we were talking about this in the office, this is it. This is got to create that kind of, it's almost like desperation, but not really. But you've got to button up and get locked in for this opportunity, because it really does feel like there won't be another one.
Well, that's what I'm saying, or what I was saying was, okay, you have to leave Oklahoma State. You get to go to Iowa. They're relatively little consequences. I know he had his whole legal thing and had to take a year off, whatever, but you're presented with an equal opportunity. That was not the case this time around. So now you see, hey, my actions do have consequences. I do need to button up and focus. And this is a scenario, Kozak, where you're saying where now we're talking about where does he go after, where I would feel bad. Bakersfield takes a chance on you, bring you in, you perform really well, and then you get handed off.
Yeah. There's so much that has to happen for that to happen, though. I feel like
not that much has to happen. He has to perform really well at NCAAs.
Here's the debate we were having.
You're just skipping all the hard stuff.
Yeah.
You're skipping the main obstacle. It's not the questions are not, can AJ wrestle well? That's never the question, Tyler.
You're saying can he make it through a year trouble
for me?
What if AJ can wrestle well?
To the level he was at in 2021. Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is a man we saw. Did he go into overtime with Glacier?
Listen, and then we found out Glacier was just really good.
True, but
and he won kind of, but he also lost.
Yes. Okay. Fair point.
He also beat him.
Touché.
And also he was not training. He was you follow him on Instagram. He's all over the place. He's exercising, but he wasn't wrestling training. And so I think
he hadn't been in Iowa at that time for a while, training wrestling.
He'd been kind of everywhere. Not really.
Okay.
He was not in the Iowa wrestling practice room doing their workouts.
All right. So the question, yes or no? 2 questions. Does AJ make it a full year on the roster?
Yeah.
And if so, does he All-American?
I will say yes to both. I think he does it.
So that's not a lot of things that have to happen.
I have
2 things.
I believe.
What is your definition of a lot?
I believe in the triumph of the human spirit, Tyler. I believe that he can
That's really encouraging to hear because for a long time I thought you thought that people couldn't change.
I think people can change.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna bet on the guy failing. First of all, I'm just not gonna predict that.
So 2 things have to happen.
No, not way more than 2 things have to happen. But he just asked me 2 questions. I answered them.
And if those 2 things happen,
So that means here's the thing. That means he's going to school. He's on task. He's living the right life. He's staying out of trouble. He's not fighting people at events. Like, those are the things that have to happen for it.
But I agree with JD. Like that would be kind of a bummer if Bakersfield like took a chance on him. He does super well, and then
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that yet.
take a chance. Kozak, who's ranked number 8?
He may not leave. Also, there's no rule.
Yeah. I'm saying that if it happened, it would be a bummer.
Yeah.
All red.
Silas Allred is ranked 8th right now at 197.
Yeah, he can beat him.
Actually, we know Braunagel.
He's never lost to Buchanan.
Who is number 1? So this is the debate Kozak and I were having a little bit in the office on
This
Friday.
is tough.
Where does he get ranked?
So here's what I said. If you're gonna rank him, you're ranking him because of what he did in college, and then so you have to rank him number 1.
No.
Okay,
No.
listen.
No.
Let me go. You have 2 choices. You could just not rank him, be like, you know what, blank slate, we don't know, and we'll see. Or you can acknowledge the results he's had and then rank based on those results, which would put him number 1.
No. You can't not rank him or put him number 1.
You can do one of those.
What do you
It's
do?
not only those 2 options, though.
Those are the only options. Well, that's because y'all just want to split the difference. Oh, let's put him 3rd. Why 3rd? Why could you rank him 3rd?
As the only one who's never ranked before here, can someone explain to me why those are or are not the only 2 options?
Because the only person he has ever lost to in his college career is Noah Adams. That's his only true loss. And he's national champion last full season. Then he went 10-0 before being injured in his car accident and cutting. But that was 2.5 years ago.
See, I hate agreeing with Christian, but I feel like you just made his argument for him.
Yeah.
Well, you can't. But what you can't do is you can't take everything that Buchanan has done and say, all right, because AJ beat him 2.5 years ago, now he gets all of Buchanan's wins and goes ahead of him.
But you did that with Aaron Brooks when he beat David Taylor.
He's never wrestled Cardenas. He's never wrestled Rocky Elam, who all have had success in the times that AJ
But you
Ferrari
did that with Aaron Brooks when he beat David
didn't
Taylor.
wrestle.
Listen,
Different
number 1.
situation.
Since the last time Ferrari beat Buchanan, Buchanan has finished 3rd twice and taken a red shirt.
Okay.
That's so long. That's so.
No,
long.
I'm just saying. Look, I don't know. I'm just saying.
Aaron Brooks just beat David Taylor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
okay.
beat
He
him.
just beat him.
AJ Ferrari.
That
didn't
is.
just
Thank you
beat-
for. I was just wondering
didn't
how
just
it's
beat
different, and
Stephen
you
Buchanan.
said, and
Where
you
did
told
you?
me.
Hey,
Putting him like 6th or 7th or 5th, that kind of range, acknowledges that he was very, very good.
How do you draw the line for
Well,
like
how
who
about
goes
this?
above or below?
How about this
But if you
question?
just don't rank him. That's
Hold
like
on.
he never had a career before he was
Look,
sidelined. for
I'm not
2.5
even
years.
arguing here. I just am asking earnest questions.
Let me ask a question. Where did you guys rank Yanni in 22-23 season?
That's different
Why?
because it wasn't 2.5 years.
Oh, it was 2 years.
No,
Yeah, he missed 2 full seasons.
he was actively competing.
He took an Olympic red shirt.
Technically, so
No,
did AJ.
actively
at Soldier
competing?
Salute.
What do you mean actively competing?
Actively competing.
He was not in folk style wrestling.
Freestyle wrestling.
What does that have to do with anything? You're just invented something to insert. It has nothing to do with ranking college wrestling.
Every situation's different. You can't say that
Also-
the Yanni. You cannot say that the Yanni situation and the AJ situation is the same.
Also, did
You can't.
Yanni
In
have
terms
more
of
wins
Division
over the
I
top
wrestling.
guys?
Stop.
Then you should start ranking true freshmen then, if based on that.
No.
Why?
Because it's not the same. It's
They
not
haven't
the same
actually
as,
been there and
just
done
keep,
that.
You just keep cherry picking. Oh, that's the same as Yanni. That's the same. It's not. They're all different.
I'm just trying to follow your logic.
Every situation is different.
You said he was out for
Every
2
ranking
years.
situation is different. It's not always. It's either this or it's that.
Okay, split the difference and rank him fourth. And I don't know what that would be based on, but you could do it.
It's
Based
based
on
on
the fact that
exactly
he
what
was
we
the
just said. It's
2021
based
NCAA
on.
champion, and then hasn't wrestled an official match against any of the top guys since 2021.
To be the man, you got to beat the man. Ric Flair, AJ Ferrari. He's number 1 in the Christian Piles ranking of 197 of one spot. Until proven. And that's the thing. Rank him 1, and then when he loses, you can hit him hard because he doesn't have deep roots, because he's been out of the mix. But
No roots.
no roots, national
Very
champion.
shallow roots.
He beat Miles Amin. I saw it
I can't believe you just
live on ESPN. It happened.
that hurts my
Then
feelings.
he beat Nino.
Bring that up.
Also, I don't know, but I'm guessing Yanni had more wins over the top guys at his weight returning rather than just the Stephen Buchanan
Yeah,
one.
for sure.
Because he never lost to anybody
Yeah.
other than Jaden.
But it's the same as they.
And Austin Gomez.
It's exactly the same.
well, one guy has
the same as that.
one guy has a loss to Noah Adams.
Start ranking freshman.
It is similar.
Oh, it's not at all.
Bro, it's similar and
Similar, and it's not the
No,
same.
because listen.
yeah, you acting like it's not similar is crazy, John.
It is not the
said
same.
the same. It is not
you
the
said
same.
It's the same. It is not the same.
Similar and same. are
Yanni had
different.
beaten everyone and not lost to anybody. AJ doesn't have. He hasn't wrestled Cardenas. Hasn't wrestled Elam. Hasn't wrestled Stephen Little.
Who did he
Salazar.
beat at
Michael Beal.
149?
Allred. Could keep going down the whole.
Remember
Remind me of the list of 149 pounders Yanni had beaten at that
I
point.
don't know. I got to pull it up.
Well, the answer would be none.
because he was 141.
You get. Still would have to look. You don't think that other 141 pounders had moved up to 49?
How many titles had Yanni won at that point? Was it 1 or 2? We might.
He won 18, 19, 20,
Didn't get to compete in 20, but probably
22, 23. 18,
he
19.
Olympic redshirted in 2021.
What year is it?
But what I'm saying is also remember the
Put
year.
that in the doc, Kozak.
Remember also the year AJ won was a very limited season. Less data,
Yeah.
which is why he hasn't wrestled a lot of these top guys, despite the fact that they were around
He beat Younger.
in 2021.
Bastida?
Mm-hmm.
Yanni?
He
did?
grabbed his donger. Remember?
Wait, you're talking about AJ. I was like,
Yeah, Yanni beat Younger Bastida. Younger Arista really cut weight.
I was like, was he really small at one point?
Yeah, he just got big in America. No, okay. So I think he should be ranked number 1. Opinions vary.
I just don't think it's as black and white as you.
I don't care, but I love listening to you guys argue. We could do it all
yeah.
day long.
R.I.P. Who's number one? The show. Those are Who's Number One segment.
Yeah.
Literally.